Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Toby. I'm back at it again, yet another week. And I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to God that He's allowed me to connect with everybody. Thankful for all the feedback that I'm getting. Thank you to anybody who's reached out to me and said anything positive, negative. I don't care what it is. Just reach out to me. That's what I'm trying to do. So if you haven't yet, please check out the blog, longlivetoby.com. I got a ton of articles on there, a lot of really good things that you guys can tune into. Also, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. We're growing daily, but I can't do it without you guys. So please like some of my videos, subscribe. Also follow me on IG, Long Live Toby. And then last but not least, I got my podcast out with my co-host, Josh. It's Corporate Coke and Smack. And we are on iTunes and we're also on SoundCloud. And I'm also dropping a link below. So follow me on all these little places that I have. Thank you. Now, I was sitting here and it's about to be the beginning of a week coming off of Labor Day weekend, and I'm thinking, what am I going to say to my people? And really, I was thinking about people going back to school. It's around that time. Most people have resumed their college activities or they're about to. So what could I give to the college student that's going to benefit them in their journey this year? And I thought, hey, let me speak to my college freshmen. Now, this is going to be directly towards my men. Now, if you're a woman, you can also listen to this, and I think you can get some insight. But I'm basically giving some advice based on my experiences and the experiences of people that I know. So if you have any questions about anything you hear me saying, reach out to me. There are a bunch of ways you can do so. In the comments, on my blog, whatever you want to do, just reach out to me. I definitely appreciate any type of questions you have or concerns, please. All right, so I'm going to give tips to the male college freshmen based off my experience. Here it goes. I'm going to give advice based on 3 different categories. The first category is financial aid. Now, financial aid is a great thing. You get to college and the first thought is, how am I going to pay for all this crap? Now you have your room and board and you have your tuition. There might be other things lodged in between that, and make sure you do check what you're actually paying. But either way, how are you going to pay for this? Now, if you're fortunate enough to have scholarships, do your thing. Scholarships are the best way to pay for college. You can also have Pell Grants. You can also have aid from the state or some scholarships from like a church or a local organization. Whatever you can get for free that's not an actual loan, that is great for you. Now, when it comes to these loans, the issue that I have, or the issue that I encountered and that many of my peers have encountered, is that you tend to think of this loan as a credit card. So with the credit card, you swipe now and you pay later. But when it comes to a student loan, you can use the funds from that loan now, but you're not going to really have to pay this back until later down the line. I'm talking about 4 years later, when you've graduated, 4 or 5 years later. So it could just be displaced in your head that, hey, I don't really have this debt. Or you could think, well, by the time I get out, I'm gonna be able to pay it all off. One of the features of student loans is the fact that it could be either subsidized or unsubsidized. And the difference between the two are, one is going to accrue interest as soon as you take out that loan, and the other is going to hold off on accruing interest until you graduate and have to repay it back. So try and see the difference between these two. The second thing I'm going to note about financial aid is that you basically are given this big check. You have tuition for about $5,000 and you go to your financial aid office, bro, I can't pay this, I need something now. You've exhausted all your other resources. So financial aid says, you know what? You qualify for a $10,000 loan. Now you sit there, you say, well, I only need $5K. But your financial aid office is not going to just cut you a check for $5K. What they're going to do is they're going to cut you a check for $10K, pay the $5K in tuition, and disperse or give you a refund check for $5K. Now, as soon as you get this $5K in your hand, you're probably thinking, oof, I'm about to get fresh. I'm about to redo my dorm. I got a couple MacBooks that I need to purchase. Don't do it. Because at the end of the day, this is an obligation that you have to pay back. So one of my biggest qualms with financial aid is they give you more than you actually need. And when you have kids that are, or young men that are 18, 19, some even 17, getting thousands of dollars in their hands, you can only imagine that they get sidetracked and they look to splurge. They get the new J's, they get the new TV that they need for their dorm. So, just a word of advice. Please make sure that you're not going crazy with these refund checks. And you can also pay that back as soon as you get that refund check. So they don't tell you that you can do this, but as soon as you get this refund check, you can say, you know what? I want to pay this back, and you can pay it back to the loan company, which will definitely get you in a better situation. Now you're probably thinking, hey, I'm in school, I'm doing engineering, I'm supposed to make like $80K coming out, so I could take on a little debt. Just want to let you know, you do not want to get out of school having debt on your head. Now, of course, if you need a loan, take it out. I understand people go through hard times. You might come from a family that doesn't have the means to provide for you. Loans are not terrible. It's just the terms that you take out these loans and exactly how much do you need. So coming out of school, I thought I was going to make a whole bunch of money and I was in finance and I'll be able to pay these loans off in a breeze. But I didn't know that some of my loans were accruing interest as they went. So while I was in school, my loans were getting capitalized. Interest was accruing, getting capitalized. And by the time I got out, I'm looking at this statement and they're like, oh yeah, you got to pay back your loans now. And I'm thinking, I haven't even got a job yet. So for everybody that thinks jobs just come like this, it's not guaranteed for everyone. So please keep that in mind when you're taking out these loans. Now, the second thing I'm going to talk about women. So this is a big topic for college freshmen, simply because when you're going into college, you hear all the stories, you see all the movies, and I mean, some of your visits, you see a lot of women. And I'm not going to lie, the ratio is in our favor. So for every man, you might see about 3 women or more, depending on where you go to. If you go to HBCU, yeah, you definitely going to see a big influx of women. So my advice to college freshmen, think with your hearts, not with your penises, and do not think based on your friends. Say no to peer pressure. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that you must be in a relationship your entire college career. No, I'm just saying think with your hearts. I believe that deep down, none of us are conniving and evil guys. If we honestly think with our hearts, we'll do the right thing in every situation. So when you get on campus, you got so many opportunities. There's parties here, there's study groups here, there are student unions left and right, and all of them are filled with men and women. Now you're gonna see a lot of women, different sizes, different shapes, different races, and you are gonna get aroused. It's gonna happen. But like I said, I implore you to not get into the habit of headhunting. So headhunting is something where you and your boys, you're on campus, you see this fat joint, you see this joint that's light skinned, or you see the dark skinned joint that you're attracted to, and y'all start to almost place bets. It's like, yo, I bet I could sleep with her first. Oh, I bet I could do this with her. That is something that you do not want to get into. And I implore you guys to not get into that, simply because as men, we're supposed to protect our women, not prey on our women. So when you get into those habits, they can lead to a lot of harm down the line. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is, hey, doing that is going to scar these women. Now, post-college, I've seen a lot of women that are successful, they've got careers, they're not crazy, everything is going great with them, but they don't have a guy. And I know these are loving women, but when you try to get to know them, you figure out that they've been scarred and they're not willing to let anybody in because of some petty relationship that carried over from college. They met somebody in college who they played that part just to get the cookie, and they continued to play that part up until they had depleted them. They had taken everything they had from this woman, and they pretty much just suplexed her. They gave her a stone cold stunner, you know? A lot of women go through this where they have these boyfriends in college and they think everything is going well and they're really looking forward to post-college, maybe settling down. And the guy after college, simply because he wasn't ready and it was something that was comfortable, you have these girlfriends in college that you go over that dorm, you get whatever you want at any time, they might make you food, you get to lay with them, and you do your thing. You're pretty comfortable. And then, once you get out of school, you realize, I don't really like her like that. She was just comfortable for the time being, and you just cut it off. So now you have this woman that's going through a 2-3 year relationship, and she has nothing to show for it. And she's looking at men now and thinking, you know what? I wasted my college years. So now I'm about to reclaim my time, and I'm going to give up on the aspirations that I had for my life, because a lot of women are lovers. They want to have somebody that they can share things with. They want to build a family. They also do want to have careers and things like that, but they close off that one side simply because you messed up their lives. So let's not scorn our woman. Let's lift our woman up. And I'm telling you, if you're thinking with your heart and you're honest, there are a lot of women that want the same things you want. So as a college freshman, you might be thinking, I just want to play. You can go to a lot of parties and meet women that want to play. And at the same time, you can meet women that tell you, you know what, I don't want to play, but I want something a little bit deeper. And if you do go a little bit deeper, maybe I could share some things with you. Now, as a man, if you're thinking with your penis, or if you're thinking, oh, my friends want me to smash this joint, you're probably going to say, you know what, I could tailor myself to look like the man that she wants in the future. I'm this guy, I have a good major, I have my head on straight. I don't really want a relationship now, but I can tailor myself to get what I need from this woman. And that's where I think you're going down the wrong path. Because essentially, once you get out of school, I think all men ultimately want to settle down as well. And now you're going to catch yourself looking for something that you had all along. So a lot of men post-college, they're searching for that perfect woman. It's like, man, I want a woman that's X, Y, and Z. And half the time, you've had that in your backyard, but you can't go back to her simply because you screwed her over, or you screwed a cousin over, or you screwed a friend over. Now, there's a lot of bad talk about you. You're that guy who slept with everyone, and you can't really, talk to certain people. So don't be that guy. And then the other thing I'm going to say, this is really a little bit vulgar. I'm going to say that having a lot of sex with women is dangerous. See, what happens is the more you have sex, the more risky you get, because, you want to push that limit. That's what it is with sex. You're exploring, and I'm telling you, most guys in college, the more partners you have, the more likely it is that you're going raw out here. Using that good old pull-out method. Man, what can I say about the pull-out method? A lot that I can say, but I will mention one thing from the CDC. So 27 out of 100 women will get pregnant, or are likely to get pregnant from this pull-out method. And let's not forget that STDs are real. STDs are real. It's nothing like having to open up to a partner that you care about and say, you know what, I gave you something. That's the worst thing you ever want to have to do, to endanger somebody and put their future at risk. So I implore you guys, please be careful. Always think with your hearts. And if you aren't ready for a relationship, please don't sign up for one. And I can also speak personally, and I know a lot of friends who've suffered from this next thing I'm going to go into. When you expose yourself to a lot of women, you tend to become numb. Now, picture yourself post-college. You meet this beautiful woman, and she is everything that you've ever wanted. But when it comes time for you guys to share that intimate moment, you're so used to having things given to you. You're so used to having things given to you in certain ways. You're so used to going raw, where you almost have to start pleading to this woman, like, man, you know what, let me take this condom off, let me slip it in. And she's a righteous woman. So she's looking at you and she's going, wait a minute here, something doesn't seem right. But you know for a fact that you can't go if you put this condom on. So you settle, and you have to give her that limp, or that soft stroke, as people like to say. And now either this woman thinks you terrible in bed, or you end up doing something that's very foul, you might slip it off and say, you know what, I know she's not going to notice, and you just do something that you wouldn't normally do as a man. A lot of guys out here, they practice in a lot of weird sexual tendencies simply because in college they were exposed. And now in the real world, you don't have all these women. You don't have this community that you can just, go from door to door and knock people down. So now you're meeting these women, and the first thing you ask them is, oh, hey, can I film you? Can I do this? Can I stick this? And it's like, yo, who are you? So please, gentlemen, be careful. Now, the next thing I'm going to give to my college freshmen as far as advice has to do with networking. When it comes to networking, college is the best landscape for networking. Think about it. You have so many people of different races, of different talents, different majors, and they're all in one place. What better place to start a business than in college? Because essentially, you could bring all these different people into one team for little to nothing. A college student doesn't have a 9-to-5. They don't have families where they need to dedicate a set amount of time or they're always going to be busy. Most people just have classes to tend to. And if you reach out and you ask a student who is an expert in a certain subject, most likely they might not be able to help you that same day, but you'll see them on the weekend. You can always link up with them at the gym, or you can link up with them at the cafe or something like that. You have so many opportunities to network. Now, somebody like me, I shoot these YouTube videos. I spend a lot of time editing these things. I bought a fancy camera for over $1,000. I spent a lot of money on this stuff. Now, I remember when I was in college, I had a party that I was throwing, and to promo this, I put out a YouTube video, and I pretty much leveraged my good friend Martin. He did the video. He was a videography major, and I leveraged my good friend Chi-Chi. She was one of my actresses, and I used my good friend Chike. So all these people came together, and I didn't spend a dime. If anything, I probably spent more on meals trying to persuade these people to just do this for me. So all I'm telling you guys is that as you're walking through these campuses, be aware, take note of people. Make sure you know who to talk to in certain situations. And if you have an idea that you think could be golden, why not start it up then? Because once you get out of college, finding good talent is only going to become so much harder. Now, of course, you have to make sure you pay attention to people's willingness and their drive in college, because, yeah, they're in college to become something. They have classes, they have their majors. But I'm trying to tell you, if you can start something in college and find a team that will allow you to grow with them and not tax you up front, that's the way to go. A lot of big ideas started in college. You think about your Facebook that you share everything on. That was something that started in a college dorm. I don't know too much about YouTube, but I wouldn't be surprised if that started on a college dorm. So take advantage of networking and make sure that you don't fall into this introvert phase where you're just shy and you don't want to ask people things. Ask. The campus is there for you. All right, so that sums up what I'm going to give as far as advice to my college freshmen that are men. With that being said, enjoy the first year of college. Please, if you like anything that I said, or if this doesn't pertain to you, but you know people who are entering that first year of college, share this. Reach out to me. I'll speak to them personally. I have a lot of experiences that, due to time, I'm not going to share, but just reach out to me, and I'm an open person. I want everybody to enjoy their time in college, and some of the mistakes I made, I want to make sure you don't make those mistakes. So peace, love. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. And like I said earlier, my blog is longlivetoby.com. Please subscribe to the channel. And if you have a chance, please follow me on Instagram at longlivetoby. Peace.